So I'm sure you took her to a doctor, and what did he say?
He said that she had a hole in her heart. She's a blue baby.
I thought I would find my papa, but I didn't. I found Uncle Jungly instead.
I will divorce her. It's what you want.
Ganga.
Brought to you by
Hyundai or Hyundai.
Hey you know all the people in your business?
You should take advantage of CVM TV's unbeatable small business advertising package. Trust me.
And get your goods and services in front of your customers today.
For $150,000, you get a high-quality professional commercial.
Plus 20 prime-time commercial spots.
That's massive exposure at a fraction of the cost.
Including on the #1 morning show in Jamaica, Sunrise.
So don't wait. Call us on 658-208-5377 and see your business goals happen right here on CVM Television.
From Kingston, Jamaica, this is CVM News at Noon for Friday, April 4, 2025. I'm Courtney Lewis. Thanks so much for joining us. Prime Minister Andrew Holness says the government is in contact with United States trade representatives for clarity on how the new 10% reciprocal tariffs will be implemented. He adds conversations are ongoing with ministries and agencies about the impact of the tariffs on Jamaica's trade and industrial policy. The Prime Minister was speaking at the launch of the 2025 Jamaica Manufacturers and Exports Association's Expo on Thursday.
We are actively engaging with the United States Trade Representative and other relevant authorities to seek urgent clarification. We are also conducting a detailed technical assessment in collaboration with relevant ministries and agencies to fully understand the scope of these tariffs and their implications for Jamaica's trade and industrial policy. It is important to emphasize that these developments do not reflect any erosion in the long-standing and strong bilateral relationship between Jamaica and the United States. Rather, it reflects a broader recalibration of U.S. trade policy that is global in scope. Still, we will use every available diplomatic channel, including working with our CARICOM brothers and sisters and utilizing the Office of Trade Negotiations to seek to preserve the positions our exporters have secured over decades of deepening trade ties with the United States.
Prime Minister Holness further encouraged manufacturers and exporters to diversify their export offerings to increase Jamaica's resilience against global shocks.
Again, I must emphasize that clarity is still needed on several matters. Furthermore, there may also be opportunities to be found, and we must therefore be proactive and prospective. So to our manufacturers and exporters, we understand the uncertainty this announcement has created. And we are with you every step of the way. You are not only integral to our economic strategy, you are national champions of our resilience and ingenuity. The government will continue to advocate on your behalf and ensure that your interests are protected in any new global trade architecture.
With the hurricane season fast approaching in June, disaster preparedness is a top priority for key stakeholders. The Office of Disaster Preparedness and Emergency Management, ODPEM, recently hosted a simulation exercise in collaboration with the Jamaica Public Service, JPS, and other major utility providers. The exercise aimed to assess response strategies and strengthen coordination efforts ahead of any potential storms. Adrian Williams tells us more.
As the 2025 Atlantic hurricane season nears, emergency response teams are fine-tuning their preparedness strategies. The Office of Disaster Preparedness and Emergency Management, ODPEM, in partnership with the Jamaica Public Service Company and other utility providers, conducted a large-scale simulation exercise to test disaster response capabilities.
It was essential that the activity be done and that we brought persons together to have a good appreciation as to how the national system work in one, and also the kind of synergy that is being built out and that has been built out over the years between the utility providers. It is essential that that you do these kind of activities, because what it does, it gets everybody on one page and it allows us to be better able after an emergency to really operate.
The exercise involved simulated scenarios ranging from power outages to infrastructure damage, allowing teams to assess their ability to quickly respond and coordinate efforts.
So, while the scenario is an all-island shutdown, today's drill was about restoring power to the eastern end of the island, the parishes of Kingston and St. Andrew, St. Thomas, Portland and St. Mary. So the updates that we will have from the participating companies will be about the restoration to the eastern end of the island. And represented here are the CEOs of JPS, Flow, Digicel, and we also have senior representatives of End of the C and End of the A.
With the devastation of previous storms still fresh in the minds of many, authorities are urging Jamaicans to take personal preparedness seriously.
You have secondary events from your earthquake, major landslide, tsunami type event. So exercise provides you with that operation where you get better, right? So when you do this, it becomes exercise allows things to become second nature. Or what I always like to say here at the ODPEM, it becomes nature. You really don't think about it, you just execute, right? So the more you do simulation activities, the better you get, the better able you are to execute in times of disasters.
As the hurricane season officially begins on June 1, ODPEM and its partners say they are committed to strengthening the nation's resilience. Their message to the public: stay prepared, stay safe. Adrian Williams for CVM News.
Now, Central Westmoreland residents are urging their Member of Parliament and the Westmoreland Municipal Corporation to urgently clear blocked drains ahead of the rainy season. Residents fear a repeat of persistent flooding in the township if swift action isn't taken.
The drain is too clean. When rain falls, the whole place flood out. People can't walk on the sidewalk. The whole place, the drain is black up. Dunbar's River drain is to clean and fix. No worry not going on.
The opposition spokesman on industry, investment and global logistics, Anthony Hilton, referred to the blanket 10% tariff announced by President Trump as an unprecedented move on what he termed Liberation Day. Speaking during CVM's lead story, Hilton warned that the policy will have both short and long-term consequences for both Jamaica and the broader global community.
We're not able to say what are the long-term consequences simply because there are so many imponderables. What I will say is that the short term carries a lot of risk for Jamaica, for the Caribbean, and indeed the entire global economy. And the longer term consequence we'll have to see. But the short term, you could see a recession, you could see stagflation, you could see a weakening global economy, which for Jamaica cannot spell well because we already have anemic growth in Jamaica, and this with a weakening global economy and a major trading partner threatening a 10%, promising a 10% tax on export to the U.S. Cannot be all positive.
Meanwhile, developmental economist Dr. Christian Stokes argues that given the state of the U.S. economy, President Trump appears to be attempting to address the issue, but in a misguided way.
The U.S. has some fundamental problems. Part of the reason why Elon Musk was brought in is that the entire U.S. economy and financial system is not sustainable as currently configured. The level of debt, the persistent budget deficits, having to borrow money to finance budget, you can't keep doing that. You know, that a time will come to where you have to pay the piper. And I think that Trump is trying to find a way. He's doing what they call in the space moving fast and breaking things. We saw it with Doge, we're seeing it now with tariffs. Where I would like to think, to be generous to him, that this is a move that he thinks will bring in additional revenue to bring down the budget shortfall that I have in the U.S. and ultimately bring down the debt. That, I believe, is the thinking. I hope is the thinking. But I have to say that if it is, just from a pure economic theory point of view, it is I'm afraid, misplaced. And I don't see it working.
And with that, we take a break. Our discussion segment is next.
You ever get bun yet? Me not talk about heartbreak. Me talk about the bun where full of spice, raisins, and the perfect glaze.
Bun for bun.
So you do it now.
You have to get bun.
This Easter, you have to get bun from Mother's Bakery.
Need to pass your CSEC CAPE exams to get that dream job or to qualify for university? Then Distinction College is the school for you. We have locations in Kingston, Spanish Town, St. Elizabeth and Ocho Rios. Start day, evening and Saturday classes this coming term and sit CSEC CAPE exams for January's resit or May, June. Maths, law, science, English. We have the lowest school fees. Register before the end of the month and win an entire term free. Call us at 354-8560.
The internationally acclaimed On Stage with Winfred Williams.
At a new time, Saturdays at 8 p.m. on CVM TV.
So much more than entertainment.
Hey, you know all the people in your business?
You should take advantage of CVM TV's unbeatable small business advertising package. Trust me.
And get your goods and services in front of your customers today.
For $150,000, you get a high-quality professional commercial.
Plus 20 prime-time commercial spots.
That's massive exposure at a fraction of the cost.
Including on the #1 morning show in Jamaica, Sunrise.
So don't wait. Call us on 658-208-5377 and see your business goals happen right here on CVM Television.
We are back for season 2 of Corner Office. We are highlighting small businesses, hard-working Jamaicans who are doing their own thing in their own spaces. People who are in their role, bossing up their role.
Let's go!
Let's get it! It's not if you own the company or not, it's how you own the role. Ice cream is coming. Guess what? It is your Corner Office. Season 2, bigger and better. And guess what? You think it's not yet? Check it out. Put the end of the place. Undercover. Easy yourself.
Express Fitness and Exodus Carnival presents Fit for Fet, the ultimate workout series to get your body ready for the road. Tune in 5 a.m. every morning, Mondays to Fridays, starting April 7th to get involved in high-impact workouts by some of the best in the game. Bring your mats, bring your water, and let's get fit for the Fet with Express Fitness and Exodus Carnival, powered by CVM TV.
Every dream conquered is another dream game. I land and I fly again like a jet plane. Headed straight in your direction, 'cause I'm wiser, one step closer. I'm winning 'cause I work so hard. And the music hits I play, and the people them I say we are my show tonight. Oh, what a feeling! Don't stop dreaming. Keep on believing in the power of the feeling. Whatever you want, take a chance. Song in your heart, step in your dance. You got a spark, don't put it down. Shine your lights on.
If you truly don't have faith in me, then I promise you it's over. I'm going to put an end to this nonsense once and for all.
I will not rest until that girl is dead. I'm still going to kill her tonight, no matter what.
Here is your court notice.
Who's the letter from? Sagar just sent me a notice to get Krishna's custody.
Ganga.
Brought to you by
Hyundai or Hyundai.
The Time is brought to you by Ford Territory.
Thanks for staying with us, and we bring you some international news. Now, China has said it will add a 34% tariff on U.S. goods starting next week in retaliation for Donald Trump's tariffs. Its finance ministry said the U.S. tariffs on Chinese products are, quote, not in line with international trade rules. We have more from the BBC.
China announced this morning that from next week they will be imposing 34% tariffs on all US goods from April 10th. Here in the UK, the message from Downing Street is keep calm, carry on, but they have produced a list which extends over 417 pages of imported US products that could be in the crosshairs. Beyond obvious targets like Bourbon and Levi jeans, the list includes lavatory seats, mosaics, thoroughbred horses. The CEO of JCB, Graham MacDonald, who is one of those that have been in to advise the Prime Minister, says hitting back would be futile. His company, which manufactures big agricultural machinery, is soon to open a second plant in the United States in San Antonio, Texas.
No. Entering into a trade war with an economy the size of the US, the US is bigger than India, UK, Germany, Brazil put together by significant margin. We are not in a position to, and it's a trade war we can only lose. So my advice, if the Jonathan Reynolds or any of the government are listening, do not retaliate, negotiate. Our supply chain is global in nature and it's complex, first tier, second tier. Every factory in the world has parts coming from every different other parts of the world. So, and we've really got to get a definition from the administration to say what does Make in America mean. The rules will become clearer in the coming weeks and months. Right now, they're not particularly clear, but we make our own engines, we make our own transmissions, axles, but we make them all in the UK. So right now, I have no plan to set up an engine factory in the US. So the answer is yes. We've got to really look at what the supply chain, the impact on the supply chain means.
Yeah, no.
Well, it's time now for a discussion segment. It's Autism Awareness Month, a time to spotlight inclusion and support for those living with autism spectrum disorder. Each year, more children are diagnosed, and while early intervention is key, the cost of treatment can be overwhelming for families. But there's some help. The Sagicor Group Jamaica offers health insurance plans that include coverage for children with autism. And here to break it all down for us is Mr. Ray Johnson, the Portfolio Manager for Employee Benefits. Welcome, sir.
Thank you.
Happy to be here.
All right, awesome. So let's get into it. What really prompted Sagicor to include this coverage for autism, and what are some of the specifics? What does it cover?
Okay, so at Sagicor, we recognize the growing need for support for children who are diagnosed with autism and other developmental disorder. We listen to our clients and the healthcare partners who highlight the challenges families face when accessing care. This coverage is part of our broader commitment to inclusive care, healthcare, ensuring all child has a fair chance at development and well-being.